Hi students, welcome to BUSR's classroom. Today's topic is HSAB principle, that is hard and soft acids and bases. This is a very interesting topic. In this, I'll take up Pearson's concept and its applications. I also give suitable examples for easy reference. Please watch this video till the end. I hope you will enjoy this video. I am B. Venkatrao from the Department of Chemistry, Government College Autonomous, also called as Arts College, Rajahmundry. I told you that today I'll be taking up hard and soft acids and bases concept HSAB. And the topics which I am going to cover are Pearson's concept, HSAB principle and its importance, bonding in hard and soft combinations. These are the topics which I'll be discussing in this class in detail. Then what is this concept? Maybe new to you, but it is very important. It very easily and comfortably explains why some complexes are formed or why some substances are formed whereas others doesn't exist. So I hope by the end of this lecture you will be in a position to grasp the formation and stability of complexes. Hard and soft acids and bases theory, it is a qualitative concept and it was introduced by Pearson to explain the stability of metal complexes and the mechanisms of their reactions. So that is the basic thing. Please remember the name Pearson because in the examination question may appear to write Pearson's concept. At the time you may get confused because you studied HSAB principle, not as Pearson's concept. Oh, you remember this Pearson's name, it will be comfortable for tackling the question in the examination. So according to this theory, Lewis acids and bases, you know already what is the meaning of a Lewis acid and what is the meaning of Lewis base. And these Lewis acids and bases can be further divided into hard or soft or borderline types. Remember that point. A Lewis acid can be divided into a hard Lewis acid, a hard Lewis base, a borderline, like that. Lewis acids and bases, they can be divided like this, hard, soft and borderline. That I will be discussing in detail. Then what is the meaning of a hard acid? You know what is the meaning of acid? Similarly, what is the meaning of a base? Then what is a hard acid? Pearson classified substances into hard acids and soft acids. Similarly, hard bases and soft bases. After knowing this, it will be very comfortable to explain stabilities or study stabilities of complexes. Then what is the meaning of a hard acid? Observe this one. Hard acid is a substance which has small ionic radii, the first condition, the radius, that is size, is small, high positive oxidation state, high polarizing power. It should have the ability to polarize the other substance, high electronegativity. Okay, that means it has the ability to attract electrons, strongly solvated. Say for example, Li plus ion, it is highly solvated. That's why it appears bulky. Similarly, empty orbitals in the valence shell, that is a precondition. High energy LUMOS, lowest unoccupied molecular orbitals. It appears in molecular orbital theory, are the characteristic features of hard acids. So if these are the characteristic features of hard acids, basing on that, it includes ions of alkali metals, similarly alkaline earth metals and lighter transition metals in higher oxidation states. So that is the explanation for hard acids. You please consider examples of these hard acids. Take up H plus ion, Li plus, Na plus, K plus, Be2 plus, Mg2 plus, all these ions. Similarly, Al3 plus, Ga3 plus, etc. And lanthanum 3 plus, Si4 plus, Ti4 plus, zirconium, thorium ions in the higher oxidation states. So this is the explanation for hard acid. In the examination also, if you can write in this manner, it will be a detailed explanation. But it will take a lot of time. Please remember that point. You have to cut short these points while attempting the question in the examination. Soft acids. What is a soft acid? A soft acid will generally have large ionic radii because here I told you that small ionic radii for hard acid. The opposite will be soft acid. For a soft acid, large ionic radii, low positive charge, completely filled atomic orbitals, low energy LUMO. LUMO means lowest unoccupied molecular orbital. Their outer electrons or orbitals are easily distorted. That means they should get easily polarized by these ions. They have low polarizing power and low electronegativity. They get polarized means their ability to polarize other substances will usually less. So if that is the conditions, or these are the conditions for soft acids, so what are the type of substances or ions which can be included in this category is, it includes ions of the heavier transition metals and those low in the lower oxidation states. Take these examples: Cu plus, Ag plus, Au plus, Au means gold, Hg plus, TL plus, Hg2 plus, PD2 plus, CD2 plus, PT2 plus. All these ions, they fall under soft acids according to HSAB principle. Just to remember all these points because we have to study applications also basing on these concepts. Then what are the hard bases? Hard base, the ligands which preferably combine with hard acids are called as hard bases. That is the definition. They have small ionic radii, just like hard acids, highly electronegative, weakly polarizable, strongly solvated, high energy, low mass. These are the conditions for hard bases. So if that is the situation, try to follow which species are included under this hard bases. They are H2O, OH minus, F minus, Cl minus, CH3COO minus, PO4 3 minus, sulfate, carbonate, nitrate, okay, ClO4 minus, ROH, RO minus, R2O, NH3. All these species, they fall under hard bases category. We have another one, soft bases. What are soft bases? The ligands which combine with soft acids are called as soft bases. That is small definition for that. And then what are the precondition to act as a soft base? They have large ionic radii. Here you have small ionic radii for hard bases, but here you have large ionic radii. Intermediate electronegativity value, highly polarizable, low energy, low mass. So these are some of the precondition for a substance to act as a soft base. Now, then what are the groups that can be included under this definition? RSH, okay, thioalcohol, RS minus, R2S, I minus, CN minus, SCN minus, okay, S2O3 minus, R3P, R3AS, RO thrice P, RNC, CO, C2H4, C6H6, R minus, H minus, all these category of substances can be classified under soft bases. So in this way, basing on Pearson's concept, the Lewis acids and bases can be further divided into hard and soft acids and bases. Okay, if there are species which have properties in between hard and soft, they are classified as borderline Lewis acids and bases. That means they have properties in between hard and soft acids and bases. Okay, if you take for example acids, if the property is neither hard neither soft, then it can be called as a borderline acid. Similarly for bases, if the properties are between hard and soft, they can be called as borderline bases, like that. That is the classification of these hard and soft acids and bases. So now we will go into the explanation or details of this HSAB concept. What is the importance of studying this HSAB concept is, according to HSAB concept, hard acids prefer to combine with hard bases to form ionic substances. If we say that that particular substance is ionic in nature, how it is formed means it is formed between a hard acid and a hard base. That is the basic thing you have to remember. Why this type of ionic substances are formed or how they are formed? The large electronegativity difference between hard acids and hard bases give rise to a strong ionic interactions. So they have large electronegativity difference. Due to this large electronegativity difference between the acids and bases, they can form ionic bonds or ionic substances. Another one, soft acids prefer binding to soft bases to give covalent compounds. So students, please remember, hard acid combines with hard base due to ionic interactions and resulting in the formation of ionic complexes, whereas soft acids combine with soft bases. Okay, why they form covalent compounds means they have electronegativity different very less. The electronegativities of soft acids and soft bases are almost same and hence have less ionic interactions. That is, the interaction between them are more covalent. So when ionic substances are formed, when the interaction is strong acid and strong base. When a covalent compound is formed, when the interaction is soft acid, soft base. So in that way, we have to study and find out whether the substance is ionic or covalent. This is the basic thing regarding HSAB concept. The interaction between hard acid, soft base or soft acid, hard base are mostly polar covalent and tend to be more reactive or less stable. Okay, up to that point, there is no ambiguity. Hard acid combines with hard base to form ionic bond or ionic compounds. Soft acid combine with soft base to form covalent compounds. What happens if hard acid and soft base combine or soft acid and hard base combine? They result mostly in the formation of polar covalent, and since they are formed between different combinations, they are less stable and more reactive. So whenever situation arises, what happens is, again there will be shifting in reactivities. That means hard will be one compound, soft will be another compound. The polar covalent compounds readily form either more ionic or more covalent compounds if they are allowed to react. That is the basic thing. So whenever situation arises or whenever there is chemical reaction, again they try to revert back to their original tinge, that is hard and soft. So this is the concept of HSAB principle. Again, we will try to study the same principles basing on Pearson's concept. Almost both are one and the same. Already we studied that. Let us see what Pearson is saying regarding this HSAB principle. It is a simple rule to predict qualitatively the relative stability of acid-base reactions. So Pearson's principle gives qualitative estimation regarding the relative stability of acid-base reactions. So what is that statement? Hard acids prefer to bind to hard bases and soft acid prefer to bind with soft bases. Already we studied this. Thus, the complex AB is the most stable when both A and B are either hard or soft. Okay, when both A and B are either hard or soft, then the compound which is formed due to their combination will be the most stable one. However, when one of the reactants is very hard and the other is very soft, the complex will not be much stable. Okay, when there is instability or when there is high reactivity, when a hard acid reacts with soft base or a soft acid reacts with a hard base. So that should not be the condition. Hard interactions involve ionic bonding and soft interactions result primarily from covalent bonding. Already we studied this point also. When ionic bonding is formed, hard and hard combination gives rise to ionic bonding, whereas soft and soft combination gives rise to a covalent bonding. Soft interaction can be explained on the basis of pi bonding. This point is very important and interesting. So soft interaction, how to explain that? There is possibility of formation of pi bonding. Soft acids have low oxidation states and possess large number of d electrons. If you feel any difficulty, you can go back to those tables and find out which one is hard, soft, acid, base, like that. So soft acids have low oxidation state and possess large number of d electrons. Thus, they can act as pi bond donors, and soft bases are generally pi bond acceptors. So here you have to be careful while studying Pearson concept. The presence of d orbitals on ligands, except on carbon monoxide, it doesn't have d orbitals, helps to strengthen the pi bonding. So if there are d orbitals, there is stronger pi bonding, and that result in the formation of a better interaction between the acid and base. That is the explanation provided by Pearson regarding HSAB principle. It's the same thing we can study from the periodic table also. You go through this, which one is forming hard acid, which one is forming soft acid. Similarly, which elements have the ability to form hard bases and which elements have the ability to form soft bases, like that. Say for example, these are the elements which have tended to form bases. Similarly, soft acids, hard acids. You go through this table if you are interested. Now, after completing discussion about the HSAB principle, let us take up a couple of examples which readily explain the significance of studying HSAB principle. Okay, I hope you are enjoying this concept HSAB principle in the BESR classroom. Let us start like this. First one, in the recovery of gold is AU. Okay, gold is available in the earth crust. It is associated with some impurities. You have to purify that. What is important point regarding this gold is Au plus ion is softest one. It is very soft. Therefore, what is important? It has the ability to react with a soft acid, sorry, soft base. So which one is the soft base here? Cn minus will be the soft base. So there is soft combination. Okay, due to that soft combination, this type of complex will be formed, and this complex is extracted, and finally from that we can obtain gold from that complex. Go to the details. The softest metal ion is Au plus aqueous, a soft acid. It can be recovered in mining operations by dissolving it in a dilute solution of Cn minus, a soft base, which dissolves the Au due to formation of a complex. This is the complex. Okay, study this one. Au plus Cn minus in presence of oxygen and water gives rise to this complex Au. Cn twice, overall charge is minus. Along with that, OH minus will also be liberated according to this equation. So it is a soft combination. So due to soft combination, we can extract gold in the form of this complex, and from that we can purify and finally obtain gold. Another, you go to this example. AgI is water insoluble. Silver iodide is insoluble in water, but lithium iodide is water soluble. Why it is like that? I'll give the explanation. AgI is a soft acid, soft base combination. Soft acid and soft base. While LiI, lithium iodide, is a hard and soft combination. So from this you can very clearly understand that soft acid, soft base is a stable one. Since soft acid, soft base is a stable one, it doesn't react with water. It is a stable complex. Then what about LiI? LiI is not a stable one because it is a hard and soft combination, hard acid and soft base combination. It is unstable. Since it is unstable, it can readily react with water. That is the point. Why LiI is water soluble and AgI is water insoluble? This is the beautiful explanation provided. The interaction between Li plus and I minus is not strong. Why it is not strong? Because it is hard soft combination. Hence Li reacts with water, giving rise to Li plus aqueous and I minus aqueous. But when it comes to AgI is which type of combination? Soft acid, soft base combination. It doesn't react with water. So in this way, we can easily predict whether there is possibility of formation of a particular complex compound or not. At the same time, we can also study relative stabilities and their reactivities also. So that is the beauty of this HSAB principle. Another example, formation of hydrogen bond. In the periodic table, hydrogen bond is formed between hydrogen and higher electronegative elements like fluorine, oxygen, and nitrogen, but not with other elements. Why it is like that? This thing can be explained with the help of HSAB principle. You observe this one. The strong hydrogen bond is possible in cases of H2O, NH3, and HF, since the donor atoms F, O, and N are hard bases, and their interactions with partially positively charged hydrogen, which is a hard acid, are stronger. So that is the thing. So F, O, and N are forming hard bases, whereas hydrogen can form hard acid. So the combination between hard acid and hard base, it exists, and this is the reason for formation of hydrogen bond according to HSAB principle. We need not stop here. There are innumerable number of applications for this particular HSAB principle. You observe this one, formation of precipitates through precipitation reactions. Softer acids like Ag plus, Hg plus, Hg2 plus, etc. and borderline acids like Fe2 plus, Ni2 plus, Cu2 plus, Zn2 plus, Pb2 plus, etc. can be precipitated as sulfides. You see this one. Soft acids can be precipitated as sulfides because sulfides are soft bases from the aqueous solutions, since S2 minus sulfide ion is a soft base. So they can be precipitated as, for example, CuS, HgS, NiS, FeS, ZnS, PbS, etc. Okay, this particular explanation has very good application in salt analysis. You carried out salt analysis in the first semester practicals. So there, if you pay interest why these type of substances are precipitated as sulfides. This is the reason. So what about these ions? They are soft acids, and soft acids always prefer to form stable compound with soft bases. Sulfide is a soft base, that is soft Stokes combination. They result in the precipitation as CuS, HGS, NIS, FES, ZNS, PBS, etc., etc. This is the beautiful explanation of HSAB as far as qualitative analysis is concerned. Similarly, if you take the case of Ca2 plus and Mg2 plus, Ca2 plus and Mg2 plus are precipitated in the fifth group. Here what is important is Ca2 plus and Mg2 plus, they fall under the category of hard acids. Since they are hard acids, they react with hard bases only. The best example is carbonate. That's why calcium exists as calcium carbonate, magnesium exists as magnesium carbonate. It is a hard combination. Okay, so it is very interesting now. Similarly, explanation of stability of compounds. If you want, you can take these examples also. LiI plus CSF, they both react, result in the formation of LiF and CSI. Why it is like that? Here it is hard soft combinations. Now when they are allowed to react, they result in the formation of hard combination and soft combination. Now LiF is stable, similarly CSI is stable. Okay, so this is the stability of compounds. Similarly, AgI2 minus is stable, but AgF2 minus is unstable. Why it is like that? Ag plus is soft acid, I minus is soft base. It results in the formation of AgI2 charge is minus, it is a stable one. Okay, it will write as AgI2 charge is minus. Here also AgF2 charge is minus. Here Ag plus is again soft acid, we know that. Now it is reacted with hard base F minus, it gives rise to AgF2 minus, it is unstable. Okay, this one is unstable. Here the explanation is given like this. So this one is stable, but this one is unstable. Why? Similarly, COF6 2 minus is stable, but COI6 2 minus is not so stable because CO3 plus and F minus both are hard. That is the beauty of HSAB principle. This HSAB principle can also be applied in qualitative analysis, group 1, 2, 3, 4, etc., etc. You already know which substance is precipitated, like which one. Say for example, this one, group 1. In group 1, you know very well that the ions which are associated with group 1 are precipitated as chlorides. Okay, when HCl is added to that. Why it is like that means, again, hard combinations or soft combinations like that. So qualitative analysis can be very clearly explained basing on this HSAB principle. So I hope you enjoyed this lecture. This much information you need not practice for the examination. I have given an elaborate explanation so that it will be very convenient, and also you will appreciate this HSAB concept proposed by Pearson. For the sake of understanding, this much is necessary, but in the examination you need not write this much of content. Okay, thank you very much for watching this video.